Wait. What's up, buddy? Why are you feeling so blue? All right. Why am I blue? Currently affected by armor. Oh, I cast armor on myself and now I'm blue. I just logged in today and was like, well, I'm blue. Don't know what to make of that. I just am. Oh. What innocent bystander will die today? What an exciting game. Die.
Leatherhead. Is probably the worst place we can be in Summit most time.
Right, I'm gonna have to ask you to come back here before he runs all across the map to murder somebody else. Be normal, be normal, be normal, be normal, be normal. Normal? Normal? Are you normal?
Sure, why not?
Are you feeling normal about men today? People don't understand that reference, that's not...
Huh? Okay.
Ew, a dagger. Okay, I need to find someone who does curses, undoes them specifically. I need to find somebody who will buy my daggers and other stuff. I don't have a great memory of this town. I know where the 5 map locations are, I guess, and how they fit together. But I know there's a I guess we're up to 7 locations, because all these are the ones I've been in. I know about the witch lady and I know about the tattoo guy, and that's mostly the merchants that come to mind. But if I can figure out how to remove curses, then I can help Greek Wind, so we're incentivized to figure out how to do that. The curse spitter probably lives in the upper wards where Reekwiv used to live, so we haven't been there yet. Still trying to deal with Pharod. Since I have an armor enchantment and a scary cursed dagger, I might be strong enough now. That might be something to look into. Maybe. My objectives are otherwise somewhat drying up. Yeah, all dried up. Let's sprint across the map and hope for minimal interruptions. And I'll try to sprint to the spot with my Skullman head. Because this is like a one-way passage where one direction is dangerous and the other direction I can mostly get away with because my skull can make us teleport back into the zone before the Nameless One actually gets in a fight with one of the scary dragon guys. I wish the scary dragon guy would walk somewhere else, but I guess the simulation is paused when I'm not there. Because he used to not always be there specifically. I could kill these guys, but honestly leaving them alive seems very helpful for distracting the Nameless One long enough to have him not run up to the Black Abahash. Is the combat music playing from the previous map right now? Is that what happened? Anyway, my goal was to become strong enough to get past the fact that there was a bunch of dudes in my way, blocking the only way forward, and maybe I have now surpassed that requirement. Let's find out. I'm somewhat conditioned to think that there's another way, like a different way of solving this problem, but I have not yet come across it, so I don't have any idea what that would be. It just feels like maybe I could not have to fight through this solution, but otherwise resolve it. But they're blocking the path very thoroughly, so I don't think you can just stealth past them. And I already have a decent charisma, so I don't think I can lie to them either. Load there, name's Bish. Who might you be? My name's Nunya. Haha, my name is Adon. What? Never seen you before. I've got nothing to hide, and I don't want to cause any trouble. I just want to pass through. Bish frowns at you. Alright, you can go on. As you start to make your way past Bish, he leans over and quietly warns you, but know this, Burke. You go causing trouble down there, I got crushing your skull. I go crushing your skull if I see you again. Farewell.
Ooh, looks like my skills
Well,
have increased.
I guess I did level up. Ha 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 ha. In that, I don't remember if I put any points into charisma, but I did get 2 points from that tattoo from the class change, so in a very surprising roundabout way, I guess I did eventually get to a point where my talkie stat is so good that it did actually let me skip the fight. So I went to learn to fight with my fists, but then I learned how to fight with my heart. 6 health points, +2 from con, +1 fist, which is his biting stat. Makes perfect sense. I'm only level 3 and you're level 1 billion. Rude, frankly. Got more hit points. We both have 2 AC somehow. Well, that went better than expected. Hopefully nobody else attacks me, because if anyone attacks me, I end up attacking everybody else. This is a huge bronze bell. This room must be the top of a bell tower. Or bottom of one, given that there's usually a hole under the bell, isn't there? I think it probably fell down. We're gonna meet Pharod. It's been so long. Oh, hello other people.
Alright.
This does not look like a small map. Wow. This whole network of things down here, the buried city, is quite large. But perhaps not as full of characters as I would have thought. So it's still called the Buried Village. I'm not in a separate sub-map or anything, as far as that map's concerned. Is that person about to attack me? Are they about to attack me? Are you guys about to make a crucial mistake? Luck is merely one of my skills. Alright, who's Kuuyin? You see a drab man with a perfectly moon-shaped face. What? Moons do not have a specific shape. You're gonna have to narrow that down. Is he a spiky face? He's got a crescent? Is he an Absol? Is that the Pokemon? I didn't play anything between Yellow and Shield. Is he an Abs or Sword? I played Sword, didn't I? That's how in tune I am. I lied. I haven't played anything between Silver and Sword. So both of the names I said were wrong, slightly. Moon-shaped face. He looks at you without expression and does not speak. He looks as though his voice would be as flat as a meadow. Greetings. I was hoping I could you could answer a few questions for me. What do you wish to know? Tell me about yourself. I once lived in a land of metal machines and doors that opened at a word. I dream of the pristine metal cities and the empty shells that are our people. I had a number and a name there, and now I have neither. Like all my kind, they are all I have. They are all I have had of my own all my life. They were stolen from me. Without them I am nothing. I request your aid. Who has your name and number?
Updated my journal.
The one who used to be Radine. She stole them from me. I offered her the shelter of my name and number, and she stole them from me. They are mine lawfully and by right. Find her. She is in this village. I'll see what I can do. Really turned the whole me asking questions around. Have you located the one with my name and number? She will tell you she won the name from me, but she did not. She stole it. I require my name and number. She is in the village somewhere. I haven't got it yet. I require assistance. Any assistance you give me will be remembered with gratitude. Please help. We can start with you answering some other questions for me. Tell me of this place. I know nothing of it. I do not know this place. I have no name. I have no number. I have no mouth and I must scream. I have no memory of this place. I am cold. I am scared. This is strange. To be so naked. I fear I will die. What do you mean? I once lived in a land of metal machines and Tell me of Sigil. I am scared. I am cold. Naked. Anyway. He is very fixated on the name and number and has no additional information. So he is from outside this entire system in a way that stands out. Same Z's, Seamstress's house. This also looks like a pretty big map, honestly. Morte. You see a blockish woman dressed in a heavy burlap robe. She lumbers about the room, her joints popping as she bends over to pick up objects from various tables. Her hair is bound back from her head with a bone hairpin, and she has a sour, curd-faced expression. She is mumbling to herself in a sing-song voice. Greetings. The woman doesn't appear to hear you. Instead, she stumbles back to one of the long tables and begins picking at one of the corpses. Come on now. She clicks her teeth. Don't be all difficult on Martha. He's being difficult, isn't he? Martha? Yes, he is. Watch what he's doing. From what you can see, it looks like she's digging teeth out of the corpse's mouth, with only her hands and fingernails. When that doesn't work, she pulls out a splintered wooden chisel and a mallet and thwacks at the gums until the tooth snaps free, then puts it in a bag at her waist. What are you doing? Morte leaps away from the corpse, startled, and gives a piercing shriek. Ah! She catches her breath, then hisses angrily at the corpse on the table. If dead you were not, you might have said something earlier. False corpse, nasty corpse, yes. Haves you no shame? You might have a hearing problem. You are the one who should be ashamed, knocking out my teeth like that. Have you no respect for the dead? Ha! Martha puts her hands on her hips and puffs up indignantly. Likes you cared for your teeth, all rotted and scored and syrup brown. Wonder they's hadn't plopped out of your bone box. She scratches her head. Isn't that right, Martha? Aye, all rot and gone they are. Oh, you will be punished for your evil teeth-taking, Martha. No, that's let's not haunt the lady. I am the one who spoke, not the corpse. Martha squints and turns. Eh? How'd you get over there so fastest? She mumbles to herself. Martha, how did he do that? No glimmer, no glimmer. This gravebait's blind and near deaf. Martha's still mumbling to herself something about corpses and gratitude, which you don't quite catch. Who are you?
Updated my journal.
Martha? Is this one asks who I was? Aye, he did. She starts humming. Nobody but mine. I am Martha. Martha the seamstress. Martha the seamstress. Martha the seamstress. She turns away, back to the corpse, singing her name to herself. What are you doing? Martha turns back to the corpse with a huff. I'm trying to give this Brooks to give me his stitchies and his teethies, and he isn't recuperating. No. She wags her finger as if lecturing a small child. Stubborn as stone, isn't he, Martha? She pouts. Yes, he is. Stitchies and teethies? What are you talking about? Gotta pulls the stitches, the stitchies out, the teethies. And Martha, perhaps you could give me a hand. I have been giving you a hand, old Batty. No needs to give that tone with me. Pulling out the stitchies and teethies, yes, and the thingies inside. Thingies inside? I think she means organs. I hope she means organs. Thingies. Mort turns to Martha. Yeah, thingies. He then turns to you. It's all semantics. Marta, why are you pulling out the corpse's teeth and stitches?
Updated my journal.
Put 'em aside, Marta. That's what I does here. She scratches her head. Aye, Marta. We do. Stitchy thread and teethies are precious. We can turn into jink. Strip the corpses we bring ya. They tell Marta, pull out teethies, stitchies, thingies inside the corpse, strip 'em cold, and we'll sell 'em to the dusties. Sell the corpses to the dusties? Marta frowns. Did we not say we'd be selling 'em, Marta? Her frown deepens and she shakes her head. Aye, Marta, we did. Dusties buy bodies and we takes all we can from at first. Who tells you to strip the corpses? Fat-faced gimme pig Quint and the other grutch hobble crutch, Pharod. Ain't it right, Marta? She gives a queer smile, then nods. Aye, it is, Marta. What do you do with the things you dig out of the corpses? Sell. Sell for shinies. I see. Can I ask you some other questions? Did the one say questions, Marta? Marta blinks, then frowns. Aye, Marta. He said such, for he wears the asking look on him, he does. Can you dig in my body to find anything? Marta squints at you. Then nods. Marta can do that. Can't you, Marta? Yes, you can. I am not gonna watch this. Where? Where? Marta's studying you as if looking for the best place to crack you open. Check the intestines. Anything could be lodged in there. This is horrifying. You lie upon the table and Marta stands over you, a rusty knife at the ready. There's a stabbing pain as she slices into your abdomen, then cuts brutally downwards in a saw-like motion, exposing your innards. Despite the pain, you watch in silent, morbid fascination as she plunders your organs, humming to herself. This really is like Stubbs the zombie of the RPG. Ah! There's a retching pain as Marta lifts up the ropey mass of your intestines, blood and other fluids streaming from it. Look at this, Marta, look at this. I see. Cut there, cut there. Marta makes a small, deft incision in the side of one of the intestines, and you hear a ting as something small and metallic strikes the floor. Ugh.
Updated my journal.
The fuck happened? Marta then dumps the soupy mass back into your torso, then reaches down, picks up the object. A ring, it appears. And she flicks it to you. Pretty, eh, Marta? She nods. Yes, Marta. One shouldn't swallow such a thing, no. No. Thanks. Was there anything else? Marta shakes her head. Nothing more. More nothing. Eh, Marta? Should we try someplace else, Marta? Let's try the stomach, shall we? You lie upon the table, and Marta stands over you, a rusty knife at the ready, a stabbing pain as she slices your abdomen. Same description. She lifts up your stomach. Your vision slowly returns to see Marta standing over you, shaking her head. Nothing. Eh, Marta? She shakes her head. Nope, nothing, Marta. No luck. Should we try again? Yeah. I have some other questions. There we go. Pharod, where is he? Marta shrugs. Where's Pharod? This one asks. Here's Marta, isn't he? She nods. Aye, Pharod is here, Marta. One of the buildings here he is. Farewell. I wonder if passing out makes her just take whatever she found instead. My intestines! This ropey mass of bloody intestines appears to be yours. You have to admit it makes you uncomfortable to see them outside your body. Wow. They're just hanging out, huh? Twisted ring, +1 to armor class. Fuck yeah. This one doesn't do anything, right? That's not a ring. Yay. And because this is the weird old system, +1 to armor class means I have less armor class. They could not have made this more confusing than they did back at in this era. Like, it's their entire way of handling Thaco and 2-hit and armor class. It's just like you keep doing like reverse. You have to keep reversing the number and keep like oh no, that's negative number, and that's negative number, and that's negative. Like the numbers don't work the way they're supposed to. This tub is filled with a mess of rotting body parts. They all look picked clean. Other parts.
Done.
Okay, so it looked kind of bigger on the map at first glance, but it's not. This place isn't huge. It's one room. And then just the leftover dead space. Well,
I'm gone.
I'm surprisingly high on hit points at the moment. Maybe I could have just kept cracking everything open. Looks like someone parked this cart here long ago. Based on the dialogue, I was worried that I was causing harm, and it'd be a consequence to just going all the way through. Oh, there's Raydeen. Oh, they just aggroed. That means the moment this conversation ends, I'm probably gonna kill Raydeen. The thugs are getting kind of old, honestly. They're like, this is an RPG, it's gotta have combat. You see a woman with a line. I'm starting to think that the people who, if I even heard correctly about the idea that this might be a game where combat's avoidable, it might be in the same territory as when people refer to like New Vegas as a game where you don't have to kill people or something like that. And it's like, sure, if you ignore the fact that you're constantly being aggroed on by hundreds of enemies all the time, every time you go anywhere, then I guess you're able to not fight anyone. Because I guess you can stealth or run the entire time. Same thing with the Outer Worlds, I guess. You see a woman with a lined face and drab clothing. Her eyes are far away. There seems to be a new vitality rising up under her skin, as if she'd been given a new life. There's a pattern tattoo around her neck. She starts when you speak to her. Eh? What do you want? Wanted to ask you some questions. Mayhap I got answers for you, mayhap I don't. Tell me about yourself. Me? I got 2 names now, and I'll show you only one. Don't want you stealing the new one. You can call me Raydeen, pet, and I'll hold this other name tight to myself, I will. I know it'll be a burden on you, and I know it'll be tough to give up what you've got now, but would you be so kind as to give the name and number back to him? What? That worked? I suppose you're right. I've been a bad person. Sure I have. And I can't keep this. Here. She peels the rippling tattoo from her neck and hands it to you. Ah! That's what the name is? She shivers as she does so. And she can tell him his name now. He was and will be Ku'uyin. Now let me go. Thanks. I had a few other questions. She turns her head and shuffles away, seeming lifeless without the number tattoo to lend her the air of mystery. It is the last you see of her. What? Okay. I guess instantly resolving that quest leads to not learning much about them. Ow. Stop hitting my sad little skull friend. Also, don't run away. My character I can't control will cause problems.
Prime scum.
What?
Flies wouldn't even rest
There we
on
go.
your carcass. Okay.
You can't trigger him running away before that happens.
Done.
Or after. You can't, if you taunt them and then trigger them running away, apparently that leads to them just continuing to run away. Which is a bit counterproductive.
Alright.
Well, apparently I'm really fucking, persuasive these days. I have your name and number. May I have them? Yes. Your name is Ku Yin. Take your number. I thank you for my name and number. Yes. Ku Yin. Yes. But no. I now realize I no longer require a number here. I will find myself a new number if necessary. I give you my old number. It can help you. It is a mantle of law. It is protection. Do you accept it? Yes. Let it warm you. Trust in it. It will protect you. Farewell. He turns and begins to walk away from you. Farewell.
Updated my journal. Stronger.
Oh my goodness. I'm so strong. More memorization and 1 hit point. Number of Kuhuyin is a tattoo. Special. Protection from chaotic creatures. Not usable by chaotic creatures. But I want to be a chaotic creature. This is a tattoo of a number, an intricate weaving of ink and flesh. It squirms when held, as if sought out a host. As if it sought out a host. It is the number of Kuhuyin, a personal identifier that radiates law. When applied, the tattoo works itself into the skin of its owner, protecting it against the depredations of strongly chaotic creatures. It cannot be used by someone of chaotic alignment. This goes into the tattoo slots? Yep. It's vague about what it actually does, though. Like, I don't know what protection means, like, mechanically in the game, necessarily. But worth holding on to use on this character or someone else at some point, potentially. I already have 2 tattoos for my next party member if I ever get one. Jury's still out on that one. Damn. You're just finding things. Oops. Had a shift tab moment for a second there. Damn you, Steam. You see a haggard woman whose her care-lined face showing every scar the years have left upon her. Her eyes are knowing and tired, and she sniffles as she speaks. What is it you're wanting from me? Questions? Who are you? Who am I? She laughs bitterly. Might as well ask for a grain of sand's name, Connor, because that's about as important as I am. That's an uplifting viewpoint. What are you doing? What am I doing? Well, I'm trying to eke out a hard scrabble life under Ragpicker's Square and steering clear of those who put me here in the first place. That's what I'm doing. Alright. Sometimes you just are able to go in someone's house, but that's the entirety of the interaction. Hello, I'm in your house now. Okay. Get out.
Done.
This was the same house. You can't trick me.
All right.
Like an old gatehouse wall. Somebody comes by and finds that burnt lion here. You could fetch some, well, grease. of so many things. I'm talking too fast for me to read. But that gate may be important later. It might even be my actual goal.
Done.
You're so slow when you don't run. Evil rats!
Good as done.
Let's go over here before he aggro's on me. Oh, I'm being chewed on.
Die. All right.
How did that rat have 2 tails? That's impressive.
I'm gone.
What a genetic rarity. And now it's dead. I killed it. Those are some of those rats that were set up a while ago. They straight up killed somebody.
Done.
Presumably in their own home. Oh, there's another weird door. You hear that? The sour-faced, middle-aged man starts when you approach him, and reaches for his belt. Finding no weapon there, he simply backs away from you. You can see that beneath his collector's robes, his lower legs and forearms are swathed in filth-encrusted bandages. What you want? Just questions? Who are you? Name's Zuhir. So it is, he spits, as if it mattered down here. What are you doing? Waiting for my wounds to heal up so I can make another run down below. I sells the stuff I find down there. Down below? He nods his head. Down in the catacombs where all the debtors is... Say, you going down there anytime? Perhaps. Why? Because I lost my lucky knife. He grunts angrily, stomping his foot. He's been with me for years, right here. He points to an empty sheath on his belt. So what happened to it? I was poking about in the catacomb below and ran smack into a ghoul. Must have been a straggler, because it's usually more than one. He bit at me face, so I covered up my arms and stabbed in the eyes. It dropped and bit at me leg for a while before I shucked the piker off and made it back up here. Quite a story. I'll bring back your knife if I see it down there.
Updated my journal.
Would ya? I'd be grateful. So I would. It's got me name carved into the handle. You're covered in bandages. What happened to you? Yeah, well, I got bit up by a ghoul down below while I was looking for stuff to sell off. These are mostly gonna be recursive, aren't they? Just a little prompt to find a knife. A quick little interaction. And not much more. A poor quality stiletto. Who threw out this shoe? Quint. You see a short, fat-faced man who is covered in filth and grime. He smells bad and his teeth are rotten. He wheezes as he looks up at you. As he looks you up and down and says, I'm Quint. You new? Yes. He looks at you suspiciously. You selling or trading, huh? Selling. His eyes narrow even further. Dealing, eh? With me or everybody, Burke? Which, huh? With you? Just me, huh? Heh. Just you? Yes, just with you. That's so, huh? Let's deal, huh? Anything you're interested in? Anything interesting, huh? He smiles. You looking for something? Let's see what you got. He thinks he's clever, but he's mostly annoying. He'll buy my daggers for 1 copper each. Is that all they're worth? Even this better one's only worth 1. This needle and thread is worth more than all of the actual knives. I don't know if I should believe that. I think he just doesn't give us a good price for knives. Damn, some of the stuff he sells for a fair bit. Well,
Done.
found someone that will buy knives, but I'm not sure if that's the good call. If he's going to sell, if they're only worth 1, I might as well just not be carrying them. But even like the better ones were pretty much worth nothing.
Done.
You see a ragged man, clad in patchwork clothes. He reeks of smoke and trash, and has a yellowish cast to his skin. He looks askew at you. What do you want from me, Cutter? Questions? Make it fast, Cutter. Got mouths to feed. Who are you? Ain't important, Cutter. Slipped twixt the cracks not too long ago, or maybe that was my da. One way or another, I'm just another one trying to make a living. Anyway. So there's a surprising commitment to not having just like placeholder dialogue everywhere. Like they actually say different things even though they're not saying anything different. Like this, they have like the same dialogue, but different, the same dialogue. Ojo's house. These rags look like they've been chewed on.
Done.
You see a burly man with a slack jaw. The spark of intelligence is, in his eyes, little more than a brief flare. Who are you? He blinks at you. Point at him. Who are you? Ojo. Thanks, Ojo. I had some questions for you. Ojo just stares. What are you doing? Ojo. Talk. He stops abruptly and begins massaging his head. He begins massaging his hand. Examine his hand. There's a small inflamed scab on the skin. As you watch, he peels the scab away again. Oh, what happened to your hand? Bit. Who bit you, Ojo? He looks at the wall and looks back at you. Man in wall. There's a man in the wall? Ojo looks at the wall, then looks back at you. What does the man in the wall look like? Small, red eyes, hairy. He sounds like a rat. He nods. All right. Questions? What wall is he in? He points at a wall. You notice a small hole in it. Upon closer examination, you see that the hole is ragged, as if it has been chewed out by a rat. Is the man in the wall a rat? What does the man in the wall say? Tells about crying stone place. Tells stories. I tell stories too. Stories about what? He looks at the wall and falls silent. Tell me about yourself again. He shrugs. Guy's kind of impenetrable. Tell me about the catacombs. Not talk, strangers. Tell me about the people of this village. Ooh, Pharod. Pharod. Morte. Scary witch. Grease. Dead. He narrows his eyes suddenly. How do you know he's dead? Man in wall told me. What did he tell you? Grease dead. Where is Grease? In crying place. You mean the Weeping Stone Catacombs? He nods. Quint. Alright. Level of response is varied. Tell me about the buried village. Not talk strangers. Forget it. Farewell. His level of not talk strangers sure varies moment to moment. This wall looks like it's ready to collapse at any moment. The stones are loose and is riddled with holes. Those are huge stones that are pretty well stacked on each other. I wouldn't really expect it to just fall over. Like if they're layered on top of each other and they're heavy, then I don't really see how they'd ever fall.
Done.
Oh. Entrance to Pharod's court. What's down here then? Friendly? Friendly? Is he friendly? Does he bite? Might be the entrance to the catacomb? Not marked. Door is locked. Heh. Bar. This character has a name. You see a massive human, dressed in cast-off patchwork clothing and reeking of old ale. He is truly huge. It's obvious he was chosen for this job for his brawn, not his brains. What do you want? Who are you? None of your damned business, frankly. Pike off. What lies beyond this gate? The guard looks at you for a moment, then sneers. Your mother's bedchambers. We got to keep the gate down because the traffic was getting to be too much, you know? He roars with laughter. Pike off before you join the debtors down below. What are you doing? What does it look like I'm doing? Washing your underclothes? Get out of here, you stupid Burke. I'd like to go down there. The guard glances at you, then shakes his head. Yeah, we're all just begging to go down there. Look, you definitely ain't from around here. Pike off. And you are not helpful at giving me directions and answers. I get the feeling that I'm going to meet with Pharod, and one of the things that might come of that is that Pharod might tell me to go into the catacombs to do something for him, and then he'll give me my journal. And there might be ways to not do that, like attacking him on sight. The catacombs are set up as being a place that will matter.
I'm gone.
This green, green. What's with these purple ravines in here? They seem strange. That's him. That's the boy. That's Dr. McDickhead. Esquire magazine. You can tell he's a dickhead because he has a giant pretentious hand throne. Like, what the fuck? Before you was an elderly man leaning heavily upon a crutch. His left leg is twisted, as if he tried to walk two directions at once and paid the price. His maggoty-colored skin is bunched heavily upon his skull and is flecked with liver spots. He is mumbling and smacking his lips as his eyes make a circuit of the room. Greetings.
Updated my journal.
Aha! The man's eyes light up as he hears your voice. "'Tisn't my steady crop of jink come to Pharod's waiting arms again. Greetings, corpse." He smiles, a wicked grin. "Have you come to ask Pharod for another jaunt into the mortuary walls?" So we've done it before. He's put us there multiple times before, apparently. He's like, yeah, income, let's go. Pharod, I've come for information. I've been told that you know something about me. Know something? About you? The light in Pharod's eyes dims. He studies you, mumbling slightly as his eyes flicker up and down your frame. Corpse? No? Yes? His eyes meet yours. Ah, no. Pharod, what is it? Pharod's studying you with a dead even gaze. "'Tisn't a mummer's fair, corpse. No time for games, no time for Pharod to play the wheel. What are you asking such questions for?" "I need answers, Pharod. I was told you could provide them." Eh? Pharod licks his lips. They make a rasping sound, like parchment on sand. "Now who told you such a thing, corpse?" Who needs to tell me such a thing? Are you not Pharod? I'm leaning away from truth because it feels like telling him about telling him that I have a lack of memory might be a dangerous thing to do, because he might be the type to use that against me. Ah, so little said, so much told. Pharod falls silent, and suddenly you have a feeling that Pharod is dissecting you, like a corpse on the mortuary slab. "I know much you would know. Much, yes, much indeed." Pharod smiles slowly, the folds of flesh on his face peeling back like a curtain. "What do you know of me?" Pharod licks his lips, then settles himself upon the crutch like a vulture. No, not free, the question you ask." His pasty white hands tap the edge of his crutch. "Much I can tell you, but the telling has a cost." "Go on, Pharod." Pharod taps the flagstones with his crutch and sneers. "This village is not all that lies beneath Ragpicker Square." "Yes." "Chambers, vaults, corridors, filled with the dead, all asleep in their coffins. Somewhere in those halls, somewhere there, lies something misplaced. Something mine." "What is it?" "A small thing, a trinket, such a trifle." As Pharod speaks, his words start echoing as if two people were speaking. You know you've heard them before, from your own lips. "It's a sphere made of bronze. Ugly. Feels like an egg to the touch, and it smells of rotten custard. Am I right?" Pharod falls deathly silent for a moment, then nods. "Yes. How much do you hide from me, corpse?" He chuckles. "Did you return to see if I remember what it is I want?" "Do you know where the sphere is?" "Ah." Pharod sighs like a shifting sand. "And why do you suppose I ask you to look for it, corpse?" "I do not know where it is. I know it is buried deep, far deeper than any villager has ever gone. Pharod tisks." Pharod tisks. He doesn't say that, he does it. Tisk, tisk, tisk. "It may be in the catacombs where the waters run deep, deep." "Why don't you get one of your collectors to search for it?" "Because the corridors need no more dead from this village." Pharod tisks. "Strong, fast, clever. These are qualities my villagers do not have. They go below, they do not return." Pharod glances at you. "Perhaps the dead will welcome their own, That is what I think, corpse." Do you know where this sphere is? Oopsie, I didn't click on that. Very well, I'll do it. But I want to know what I'm buying with this trinket. There's a lot of no one rattling around in my brain box, corpse. He holds up a withered finger. One of them is the bit of wisdom. Everyone wants something, whether they know it or not. There is much I know about you, much that you would want to know. I doubt you can tell me anything of value, Pharod. I've learned another priceless piece of information. For you, I give it for free. A man is often wrong about a great many things, and a dead man is one who has been wrong one too many times. Pharod licks his lips. Much do I have to tell you that one would consider of value. Very well. I will see that finding the sphere for you in exchange for what you know. The other options were threatening or pretending to threaten, but not really meaning it. Very well. A deal struck, a deal made. Pharod cracks his crutch sharply against the flagstones. A sphere for a. Oh, he started talking. A sphere for a peek inside my brain box. Now, corpse, there is no time to waste. Go to the gate at the south and east and tell those slumbering fools to open it for you. Make haste, make haste. Questions?
Updated my journal.
When I awoke in the mortuary, I was missing a journal. Do you know where it is? Pharod squints at you, the folds of flesh coming down over his eyes. A journal you had when we spoke last. Has it lost itself? Pharod chuckles dryly. These eyes have not seen it, but keep them peeled I will. I would love to read such a magnificent work. He doesn't even have it. It's like the whole thing we assumed would happen here. Do-do-do-do. I heard you have found a wealth of bodies, Pharod. Where do they come from? Does a mage tell the secrets of his craft? So it is with the collector. Pharod frowns, studying you. Perhaps I will tell you, but you must promise it is for your ears only. What I hear is for my ears only.
Updated my journal.
Very well. Pharod taps the flagstones with his crutch and sneers. This village is not all that lies buried beneath Ragpicker Square. Go on. Chambers, vaults, corridors. Pharod gives the faintest of smiles, and his eyes gleam like gold. Places black as pitch, filled with weeping stones and precious dead. All asleep in their coffins, sleeping. Where do all these dead come from? Pharod affixes you with a lopsided stare. Corpse, corpse. Everything dies. Life is so short, but death lasts so for very, very long. Many people, many deaths. His stare travels past you. Such a waste for their deaths to be useless in a Dusty's arms, eh? What do you mean?
Updated my journal.
Pharod smiles greedily. Not all the dead that goes to the mortuary gate is fed to the furnace, corpse. The Dusties bury some of the dead in the city's bowels, under the village. So near, so close to such a place. I would have been a fool not to see the opportunities. He recaptures the dead that have already been turned into the mortuary and sells them again. It's absurd. It's also more ethical than I was expecting because, I don't know, fuck the dustmen. Like, this is definitely a better answer than, I've been killing people, it's fun! So you rob the catacombs of the dead the dustmen placed there, sell them back to the dustmen, and they bury them again? Pharod nods, then chuckles slightly. The sound is like shifting sand. These catacombs are deep as a Dusty's pockets. And as deep as the greed of man. Oh yes, Pharod sneers. And the greed of man is something that shall always be counted upon when naught else is left, eh? Very clever, Pharod. When you greeted me, you said something about taking me on a jaunt to the mortuary. What did you mean? You tell me, corpse. Perhaps the Dusties that live there are more to your liking than some sweet-bosomed wench? Pharod taps his crutch on the floor, the clacking echoing throughout the court. Most forgiving of the Dusties to let you stride in and out of here as you please, considering you don't have the decency to stay in the dead book. I wanted to get into the mortuary, but why?
Updated my journal.
Pharod scoffs. Corpse, you were so bent to get in there, now you spill that you don't even know why you wanted in there in the first place? Sometimes just a wonder why the planes turn. What is this place? Pharod's eyes roll in his sockets, scanning across the ceiling, walls, and then the floor. This is where Ill Wind Court, not a name of my choosing, thank you kindly, and the kip outside the court is the buried village, corpse. The buried village? Well now, there's a story. Pharod licks his lips again, then shrugs. But to tell the truth, the story bores me. Now there's a story. A boring story. The short of it, it's a piece of the hive that got bricked over one day. A piece of Sigil got penned in the dead book. What do you mean? You know them floating goat heads that served a lady? Them dabuses? Well, no matter if you do or not, they go all around fixing, breaking, burying, building all the time. Do you follow? Yes, go on. Well, as the chant goes, and a dusty chant it is too, being so old, them dabuses just damn well bricked over a section of the hive one day, and all bodies just forgot about it. Dump a lot of trash on it, and soon nobody even knows it's here. Pharod smiles. Wicked, no? A piece of Sigil, all forgotten. How did you find it? Pharod discs. I still have my eyes, corpse, and I still have my ears. When you have enough sense to tie the two together, then finding the dark of any matter is not so hard to make it out to be. Pharod rubs his filthy cloak. Now, was there something else you wanted to pick my brain box about? You didn't come here to hear about this raghole, did you? Farewell, Pharod. Haha. Haha. His name, it sounds like the word. I'm funny.